Hey Aquarius, and welcome to your April 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And I think that this month is really empowering and rewarding for you guys after you come into view of the way some things are not functioning very well. There is a sort of tension that has been present for you guys since about the start of 2018 that I feel is finishing itself out here and concluding. You've been facing a lot. You had a lot of cycles start in 2017, and actually a lot of goals that you accomplished and strong chapters which ended there that you may not actually quite have realized did end or did conclude. So they might still sort of be made prevalent by your mind, or you might still sort of be living through that version of yourself, even though it's no longer actually as tangible as it may feel. This is a month, Aquarius, where you can really face things head on. I feel like if you are too subtle with things, or if you're trying to think too intricately, trying to see the bigger picture too hard, that you can cause yourself a bit of problem. I think that short and simple is actually really important. You have Five of Swords in your reading, Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, the Chariot reversed. Lots of energies that indicate kind of like small issues that feel bigger than they actually are. Things that feel conflicting or conflict oriented may crop up, but ultimately for you to be able to end them, you do have the World reversed. So there is such a strong ending coming in, and perhaps even a blocking of that energy, a blocking of the ending itself, which I think through being able to give yourself the ending, or through being able to actually heal, which I think is important for Aquarius because you guys have been in the healing crisis for a while now. Some of you, not so much. And I feel that Aquarius energy is very split in this way. I feel a lot of you have been like amidst the healing crisis since we started in 2018. Lots of clicking, lots of sudden realizations of what happened and why it happened. And then some of you kind of had that, I feel, about 6 months ago. And this month is more of opening a new chapter, or opening a new door, which may actually not feel quite right. Some of you may feel like you've started projects which aren't right for you, or found yourself on career paths which aren't right, and now you're like, I want to go back, but I'm so invested into this. How do I make this work without, falling apart? And it's okay. Like, try not to think about it too much in April, to be honest. It feels like you're on the right path. It feels like you are moving towards something really incredible. The only thing is there's some sort of like very subtle thing which hasn't quite been faced yet, or hasn't quite been labeled or categorized in your life. Aquarius can be a very categorizing type of energy. Like, it's really important for you to be able to know how something affected you, and to be able to know it's how it's pushing you in your life, like what momentum it's given you. And if you can't quite define it in that way, there can be that Nine of Swords type of experience, or that Five of Cups or Five of Wands type of experience, where it's just like very energetically draining to not perhaps know like what direction something has given you, or how it pushes you in the future. This is actually a really great month, Aquarius, to kind of take a bit of a risk if you've been calculating something, if you've been needing to, do the new, like a health risk, like going to the doctor or having something checked out that you've been nervous about. You do have Temperance reversed, which says that you might have been negating yourself a little bit, or negating the balance of your own body. And Wheel of Fortune, to me, in your reading, in this type of layout, says to me that you have a lot of abundance in just meeting yourself halfway there, or trying a bit to resolve old dilemmas or old issues that have been trying to surface for a while. Overall, Aquarius, don't get too concerned with how quickly you're making progress this month. I do feel like progress is very emphasized. It is Aries time, which is one of the most progressive signs of the zodiac. It is also Mercury retrograde here, and your planet Uranus will be changing signs next month. So there's a lot of change energy coming in, a lot of progress energy coming in, and some of you may still actually be in a phase of completion, not necessarily in a phase of actually changing yet. Although I do feel like that is right on the horizon. Try to not force it too soon. Try to not make things be something that they're not quite prepared to be yet, and you'll be very rewarded for that. Again, I feel only it becomes troublesome if you're really trying to impact areas of your life which are already impacted or have already done what they need to do. Try to not overthink or paranoia yourself with small details which can't quite actually be changed right now. Anyway, Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week to provide you some more details about this month for you. In the first week, you have Knight of Cups reversed, rooted down by Five of Wands. There is a conflict regarding secrets, I think, coming up in the first week, or regarding something which you don't know. I feel that a lot of people around you just aren't being as open as they used to be, or aren't being as smooth. It feels like relationship contacts just are not smooth in the way that they used to be, and this ultimately is a push for new relationships, I think. New friend, especially with friendships. I'm feeling this really strong in platonic relationships for you all. It feels like maybe some of these older relationships have just really outworn their cycle. It doesn't mean that you can't have them in the future, but I really think new, more smooth ties are important, or taking some time for yourself. Although too much solitude, I think, is too reminiscent of the 2017 energy. Again, Five of Cups and Nine of Swords can both be quite painful experiences of solitude, although not much harm can come by facing that and by, understanding how to make your solitude a bit more peaceful. There is something vibrating in a dense way when you're alone right now. So take a moment to look around there. I do feel Knight of Cups reversed, if we're thinking about that within you, Aquarius, might be just a bit uncomfortable with loneliness or with solitude. So definitely take that time to look around yourself when you are alone, when there's nobody else around, and think, okay, how am I working now? How is this different from when I'm with other people? What needs to change? What's good? And it's so easy because we've just come past equinox. Even though with Mercury retrograde, it can be a bit logically challenging to define this, it's very easy to actually make changes. If there's a way that you're working that's not feeling beneficial anymore, it's actually really easy to change it. It's just a matter of seeing it, honestly. So let yourself see it in the first week if you can. In the second week, you guys have the World reversed, rooted by Wheel of Fortune. I think that this week can be really incredible for you guys as long as you see what needs to end. And it should be very obvious in the second week, kind of coming right off the similar energy in the first week where, there's something that's not suiting you anymore. There's something that's not harmonious. And if you're still not sure what that is, some of you will probably know very clearly what that is, but if you're still not sure, just look around in the second week. It'll make itself very clear. Affirm that to the universe and affirm that you want to know what isn't working out anymore in your life, and it will be shown very clearly. In fact, it feels that you'll be shown very gently. Wheel of Fortune to me indicates good luck and benevolence from not pushing yourself too hard or not being too desperate with understanding this energy and just letting it come smoothly, and also for the actions that you make to begin the changing process. Again, you don't get too crazy with yourself, but any small actions towards change, I do feel really benefit you and make you feel very benevolent and held in this week. So anyway, in the third week, Aquarius, Temperance reversed, rooted down by Page of Cups. You are out of balance with something here, and coming into the month too, there's an importance with balance. Balance is emphasized. I do feel that there's something that's difficult to articulate with this, though. As I get into your energy, as again, it's Mercury retrograde time, it's hard to almost know exactly what's out of balance, but again, I feel that you're shown very clearly in the middle of April there what it is. It's important to establish where the darkness and where the light is. You are balancing a lot of that. It feels like you're looking towards one or the other to be something that it's not. And that's something that I heard as well, looking towards people or looking towards things to be something for you that they aren't. So definitely think about that and think about why, what things are and why they are in your life. It sounds very philosophical, I know. But Aquarius, again, your mind, you and Pisces specifically, the last two signs of the zodiac, your minds function quite differently than everybody else. So there can be this disruption of reality, or this sort of break in reality spectrums that other people don't experience. Therefore, things being present in your life or things being around can actually represent like breaks or represent tears in your reality, which obviously just means that you have to then fix it and you have to then be able to either move into a different part of reality or move into a new part of yourself, which is a lot of what the third week is about. Something very new, something very like breath of life oriented through the balancing and almost categorization of what's good and bad, what's light and dark, and understanding your role in that, how you've generated it, and how you can get yourself out as well. It's a beautiful energy there in the third week, though. Page of Cups is that sort of emotional vulnerability, being reborn, coming back to life. I think a lot of Aquarius have felt as if they've lost that. There's been a sort of dryness or a detachment that you've experienced. It's either that or it's like a sudden just explosion of emotional energy, and you're really finding the balance there, and that could be a lot of where it needs to come in, like being able to allow yourself the softness of being there for yourself, of not having to completely overwhelm yourself or freak yourself out about many things at once. Also, think about the physical health in the third week as well. That temperance reversed very simply can be dehydration. It can be hormonal imbalances, chemical imbalances. It's a good time to go to the doctor to do work that you've needed to do for a while relating to your health, new health regimens, new like emotional health regimens, I feel as well with Page of Cups there. But both of those are such watery energies. Make sure you're getting enough water. Make sure your water is clean. Make sure that you're really think about water. You are the water bearer after all. So think about the water that you are holding. Think about like the emotional water that you're holding. Think about what memories you're holding on to and making yourself hold on to as if for some reason you need that power and memories. Do think about that, because I feel that there's a lot of weight there, and I feel that you're almost anchoring yourself down by needing this in some way. So in the fourth week, Aquarius, that energy kind of leads you into Nine of Swords, rooted down by the Chariot reversed. Definitely an extremely defining week of the entire year, I feel, as April, I think, is one of the most powerful months for you when it comes to just operating more smoothly, when it comes to, getting rid of some of these more difficult ancient habits that you may have caught on to. You see very clearly what's wrong. Like, as we've sort of been talking about this entire reading, like there's sort of something that's unknown there, or something that you've not been able to access. You see it very clearly if you can like take your head out of your hands. In Nine of Swords, it's a strong urging that something can't go on anymore, that some kind of pattern, some kind of habit, some kind of goal that you may not actually want, but have like tricked yourself into wanting, is not lasting much longer. And the only danger is that you can't look at it or face it. This can indicate insomnia or angst, or even a bit of like depression, and ability to rest the mind, a very like overactive mind. And with the Chariot reversed, it feels that that's stemming from lack of progress or not having gotten where you wanted to be, which I do think is the most overarching theme of this reading, is where you want to be versus where you actually are, and not taking that away from yourself, because it feels that Aquarius has progressed much more than you're giving yourself credit for. And even if you're not where you wanted to be in some sort of very ego type of goal sense, it's like you do definitely need to check back in and think, wow, look at how far I've come with my spiritual status. Look at how far I've come in many ways, because I feel that Aquarius is one of the most accomplished signs right now, but the only danger is taking that away from themselves. And that could be the more deeper habit and pattern here as well. Like, what do you need to take away from yourself? The Chariot reverse can also indicate like blocking your own path, choosing to not move forward quickly. Again, as we were talking about in the third week there, it's like what dense, emotional, heavy things are anchoring you down. It feels like if you can start to release that, you can move much more quickly, and your path can be much less blocked. And your central theme, Aquarius, is Five of Cups reversed. So that's definitely validating that for me as well, where there's something that you're looking at which is slowing you down, or like spending too much time in a more pessimistic place. Posture, looking down. Again, face forward. I said that for someone else this month too. It's like you have the Nine of Swords and Five of Cups together in a reading. It's like there's not a lot of like a forward viewing, like not looking forward on your path, like you're looking down or covering your eyes, and that can really slow things down. It can really halt progress. Ask yourself with what you're grieving right now, and for some of you, it's not going to be the case. Ask yourself if you still need this grief process, if you still need this process of slowing down, because sometimes you do. Grief and bereavement is very important. The Five of Cups reversed oftentimes does signal that the reason behind it or the time that has been spent doing it may not be suiting us any longer after this point. But and hopefully this doesn't sound too negative to you guys. This is beautiful energy because I mean you have the Wheel of Fortune, you have Temperance, you have so much major arcana. The universe is assisting you this month. The universe is reaching out halfway. As long as you can see it and reach out, you will be very lucky and very auspicious this month. I feel that May treats you extremely well too. And more than anything, enjoy the emotional vulnerability which develops. Sometimes Aquarius can fear this a bit, and that could lead to some of this discomfort that you might be feeling. As long as you can be fine with that emotional vulnerability and not spend too long in memories which no longer suit you, I feel that you are very lucky and very congratulated, very loved this month. Anyway, Aquarius, I hope this reading resonated for you. If it was like not quite there, you can always check out your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you can click the center of your screen right now. And your likes and comments mean the world to me. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to check the description box, all of those links are there. Much love, and we'll talk soon. Bye.